All right, thanks for tuning in again to Cold Pizza Watch Reviews. Today I wanted to talk about a few of the pilot watches that I own and what a real pilot watch is. You see a lot of variations out there from Laco, Stowa, Orient, and they all claim to be a pilot's watch. So I'm going to go over a few today that I own that actually have true heritage and history and are probably the closest iterations you can get today for a real pilot's watch. This is a Seagull 1963. I've done an unboxing and review on it. You can pick these up for around $170. So this watch was developed in 1961 for the People's Liberation Army Air Force in China. It's always had the ST-19 movement, which was developed from the Swiss Venus 175. So what's cool about this watch is you're getting the original movement. Now, it didn't have a see-through case back, but this is the movement based on that Venus caliber. It's a hand-wound chronograph. It's not an automatic. So this is a 38 millimeter to keep true to the original design with a sapphire crystal. It's 47 millimeters lug to lug. I've got the chronograph running right now. Stop it, reset it. These are fun little watches that, again, is as close as you can get to the original. I wear it often, you can see by the strap. If you want to get a true mechanical chronograph with a lot of history, the Seagull 1963, you can't beat it. I bought this one from Suggess. It's S-U-G-E-S-S. They have a website and they're on eBay and Amazon as well. But again, $175, some real true history. It's just laid on my wrist here. We can see what it looks like. It's an awesome watch. So that's the Seagull 1963. You see that movement up close. It's a lot of fun to sit there and watch that run. I've not had any problems with it. I don't expect it to be a super robust watch. I mean, I don't abuse it. I wear it more like I would a dress watch. I don't get it wet, but it performs pretty good. I don't have any issues with the chronograph. So that's the Seagull. We'll sit him to the side. Probably my favorite is the Hamilton Khaki Pilot Pioneer. Originally it was called the W10, and it was manufactured from 1973 to 1976. It was produced for the Royal Air Force. It's 33 by 36 millimeters, so it's 33 wide by 36 lug to lug. This has an H50 hand-wound movement, and it's based on the ETA 2801-2. So again, it's staying true to the original form by having a hand-wound movement that is Swiss-made. It is now called H50, which is what Hamilton is calling their movements, but it is an ETA 2801-2 movement. You might think, well, that's a little bit small, but on your wrist, I mean, you can see I've got right at a little bit over 6¼ inch wrist. I changed the band out. But again, a watch that was originally designed for the Royal Air Force. All the measurements are almost identical. It's only missing a little arrow that actually happens to be a trademark of the Royal Air Force that they're not allowed to use. Other than that, it is as true to the original design as you're going to get. And that's what I appreciate what Hamilton did with this. Again, a true pilot's watch. It kind of falls in that field watch style, but this is who it was developed for and who wore it and used it for, 3 years. And you can find some original models out there on eBay if you want to hunt around for them and see how close it looks to the original. But I love the watch. I love that it's a hand wound movement. The size, very simple. See the back. If you've not seen one of these before. They're not cheap. They run slightly around 600. And it comes with a NATO strap. But I put this one on here. I felt it gave it more of a vintage military feel. But one of my favorite watches. It's very simple. You can't go wrong with it. Movement works great. Very accurate. I mean, this watch is plus or minus 3 or 4 seconds a day now. Very accurate watch. I'm pretty impressed with that. So again, that's the Hamilton Khaki Pilot Pioneer, another true pilot's watch that was actually used by pilots. My latest acquisition is the Glycine Airman #1, the Purist. This was developed, or I guess inspired, by a guy that worked for Glycine, Seagull. So he was traveling and he was sitting in the seat next to a pilot on a DC-4. And he started quizzing the guy about what would be the best pilot's watch if the guy could have one. Well, he took notes, and I don't know who initially came up with the final design, but from his notes from that flight and talking to that pilot, he came up with the Airman. This is the Purist, and it's called the Purist because it's got the true 24-hour dial. It's not got the GMT hand. It's 36 by 44 millimeter. This uses the Sellita SW330-1 movement. There's some older models that use an ETA movement. This watch became really popular in the Vietnam era with pilots flying in Vietnam. So again, a watch that was really used by pilots. I'm not going to get into all the specifics on the dial and how everything works. You can watch my review. But these are 3 watches that were really worn and designed for the military, for pilots, and used. So I just don't feel right wearing something that claims to be a pilot's watch and has probably never been on a real pilot's wrist. These watches have, and they have a lot of history. So yeah, they're fun to look at, and there's some nice options out there by some of these other companies. But I just want to go over why I picked these, why I think they're unique, and if you want to look at something that's got some history and was used by the military, you might want to give these a shot. If you got any questions on these, I've done reviews on them before. I'll put links in the description below, but just leave them in the comments if you have any questions. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks.